we are going to pamper your feet and ankles with this mobility session. Go ahead and grab a tennis ball and let's get started. Start by placing the ball underneath of your big toe. And just see how it feels to let your big toe just come and fold over top of the ball. You're going to work along the muscles between the bones of the feet. So standing and putting a little bit of pressure through that ball, you're going to start to just roll that ball from the base of your big toe to the base of your heel. Only putting as much pressure as feels comfortable. And then slowly working the ball towards the second toe, the second knuckle. Seeing what it feels like for a moment to let the toes fall over top of the ball and then work through sliding forward and backwards along those muscles of your arches. Four to five rolls, and you can move to underneath of the third and the fourth toe. Pausing for a moment if you find a spot that feels good to put some pressure through, but never going past a 2 or 3 out of discomfort. When you're ready, go ahead and get that ball underneath the base of your baby toe and just see what that feels like to let the toes fall over the ball there. And then go along the base of that baby toe to get some really nice massage. We're waking up the feet, spending some special attention and time here for the part of your body that continuously keeps you grounding and moving along your way. And if the ball gets away from you, just grab it. All right, so we're going to work back through each of the joints again to get back to the big toe. So a couple of passes forward and backwards over the ball at each toe again until you get back to the big toe. And then what you're going to do is come and stand with that ball underneath of your heel and just put a little bit of pressure down. With a tennis ball, you're going to get a lot more give. With a lacrosse ball, you're going to get not as much give. So only putting as much pressure as you want down through the heel. Just a different sensation. And from the different side, I am coming to the side of the heel. And if you want to, come to the point where you can feel the bone of the heel ends and more of the muscles underneath kind of begin. So with stepping onto the ball with your heel, we are just gently massaging that fat pad that's underneath of it, but then we can also come more to the connecting point of the muscles onto the heel, maybe going side to side there. Okay, now it's time to switch to the other side. So starting with that tennis ball underneath of the joint of your big toe, what does it feel like to let the toes come and fall over top of the ball? And then when you're ready, go ahead and move that ball from the base of your big toe down towards the heel. Four to five lengths through that same spot, and then you will come and get that ball underneath of the second toe and let your toes fall over the ball there. When you're ready, start moving the ball from the base of that second toe towards the base of the heel. And if you find a spot that feels good to just stop and put a little bit of pressure, do so. And then move on to the base of the third and the fourth toe, moving up and down. And then moving to the base of the pinky toe, letting the toes curl over the ball. And then starting with that gentle rolling, little bit of this self-massage for the soles of your feet. Bring some awareness to that foot that you just work with. How amazing does that foot feel? So good. And when you're ready, coming and putting some pressure down onto the heel, on top of that ball, in a couple of different spots, staying more directly on the heel, waking up that fat pad, mobilizing that fat pad. And then if you want, bring that tennis ball and move your foot more side to side, massaging the connection of the muscles to the bone of the arch. Now come to the base of the pinky toe again, and we're going to come back through the length of the foot here. A little bit out of order from the first foot, but that doesn't matter as long as we're coming and giving that attention and running through this a second time. It's all good. So coming to the base of the toes, heel down, letting the toes curl over the ball. That is a nice stretch here from the top, on the top of my foot. I can really feel that. And then coming through the length of the foot, until you get to the base of the big toe and finishing up with some rolling more through the outer arch. Awesome. Take a moment, set that ball aside, and just see how your feet feel now after some of that. Next, grab a chair or something sturdy. You're going to be putting a lot of weight through this surface, so we need it to be safe. Go ahead and plop your right foot up onto the chair. Now, we are going to work on mobilizing through the ankle. So the ankle, lots of people think, just moves one direction, forward and then pointing your toe. But in reality, we need to have range of motion at the ankle so that the knee can come on the inside of the big toe. We want it to also be able to come straight, and we also want to work into that knee coming and tracking more on the outside or towards the baby toe. So we're going to do just that, working into those three different vectors or planes of movement, if you will. So with your foot flat down on your surface, I like to cup the back of my heel with my opposite hand so that I make sure that my heel stays down. We're also going to get probably into a little bit of a stretch through your arch, but also into the back of the calf. So keeping that foot down is going to help to enhance that. I usually have my other hand on the top of the knee that's up for a little bit of leverage and control. So we're just going to start by bringing the knee and track it pretty much straight through the center of the foot. And just come and settle into that and then move out of it and just see how that feels. Try to relax your foot as you come and sit over top of it, moving in and out. All right, what we're going to do, that was just a bit of a pre-warm-up, is we're going to now move the knee over top and tracking on the outside of the big toe. See, you can see I'm on the outside of the big toe with my knee on a diagonal inwards. And I'm just going to sit here for a moment and then come in and out of that position. So the goal is trying to keep the foot flat across the surface. That's why I like to use my heel pinned down by my hand, and I can feel a really nice stretch through the back of my calf there. Now make sure you get yourself in a good position with the other leg so that you're feeling comfortable. Next, we're going to come again with that knee straight forwards. And once you get to that end range position, you might just sit here. You might subtly move in and out of being there. It all really depends on how you're feeling through the back of your leg and through your ankle. Lastly, let's take the knee on a diagonal outwards towards the baby toe. This is a bit of a different range of motion maybe, right? Lots of conversation about don't let your knees go inside of your big toe. Well, we actually want that, and we want to train that and be strong there. Then lots of times, like I said, people just think the knee tracks or should just only track straight over the foot. But mobilizing and getting that knee towards the pinky toe and coming out is also really effective for our squats. Just thinking about getting down into my squat, my knee might not track straight, but actually come out. So I'm going to sit there, and I can actually come and settle into this pretty low. I might even come and grab onto the chair or the surface to get a really deep stretch in through the back of my calf and also into my glute. Good. So just wiggle that foot around, bring that down, see how that feels. And let's pop the other foot up onto the surface. And we're going to work through the same 3 vectors. All right. So cupping the back of that left heel, let's just get started with the knee coming over the foot more directly, sitting down at the bottom. And then when you're ready, we're going to let the knee come on the inside of the big toe. My big toe wants to curl in, so I'm actually going to encourage that big toe to stay more straight forward as that knee comes to the inside of it. Couple of little movements here. Bringing the knee back over the foot between the second and the third toe. This is a good one for me. Nice stretch. And then coming and bringing the knee over the pinky toe. And this is actually getting into my hip, which is kind of nice. Getting some foot love, some ankle love, and a little bit of some calf and hip love in terms of stretching. Let's go again one more time through each vector, those 3 vectors. Pew, pew, pew. All right. Forwards and out towards the pinky toe. Lastly, come and sit down on the chair. What I'd like you to do is cross your right ankle over your left leg so that you can fit your fingers between each of your toes. Once you've got your fingers in between your toes, you're just going to start to move the toes and the ankles up and down. This is going to be more specific to some of the smaller joints in the foot and within the ankle, depending on how much movement you want. Let's start to move that ankle in a circular motion, reversing the direction, going the other way, and then actually taking the foot and doing some rotations to get in there a little bit more specifically. This feels very nice. A couple more circles. So with the fingers between the toes, we're spreading the joints more apart, and potentially you might even feel a bit of a stretch in between those long bones of the foot, the metatarsals. And then we're getting into more of the tarsal bones when we're doing some of the up and the down, some of the rotation in a circle of the ankle, but then also the rotation and twisting of the foot. So go ahead and release your fingers from your toes. Give your foot a little move and shake around. And let's switch to the other side. So go ahead, let's get those fingers in between your toes again. And this might feel really weird. You might not be used to touching your feet like this. Just go with what you're comfortable and get your fingers in there as much as you can. All right, so let's just start with the fingers in, just bending through the toes, maybe starting to get the ankle involved. Let's get into some ankle circles. Couple one way, couple another way. And when you're ready for some twists of the foot. So I'm really having to use the back of, well, I guess the palm of my hand on the sole of my foot to help with some of that rotation through the foot. Let's get into some ups and downs, some circles both ways, and the other way. Some twists, kind of whatever just feels good. And when you're ready, release the fingers from your toes, maybe some ankle circles, spread the toes, curl them up, move the ankle around, see how it feels after all of that. Feels pretty darn good. And if you have some time, go ahead and grab a little bit of lotion, and you could get into some foot massage by just keeping your thumb straight and close towards your other fingers, and just going and being a bit more specific in terms of some massage through the sole of your foot, on the top of your foot, even into the back of your ankle, over your Achilles tendon, or the front of your shin. If you've got an extra little bit of time, foot massage or even just rubbing your foot without any lotion can just be another thing that feels great and invigorating and really wakes up your feet.